Hi, my name is Anna Johnson, and today I will be talking about my creative autobiography assignment. So for this assignment, I decided to create a collage of my two topics. So my two topics were physical development, which will show my body growth and how I have physically changed over time and how those functions have changed. And the other is my family growth and development and how my family relationships have either grown or stayed the same. To me, I think both of these topics really show how I have grown personally, and just like throughout my life, I think you are really able to see like kind of the differences. I would say the more differences are in the physical development than the family, but I think they're both very good at describing what my life has looked like. And so I'm going to jump into physical development, which in the collage you can see I've numbered it from what ages I am in each photo. And I think, to me at least, this shows how, like, when I was an infant, like, I was just laying down doing normal baby things, and then as I get a little older, you see me, like, start to, like, perch up and, like, start to be able to crawl and, like, stand, and then I'm walking, and then I know there's a photo of me playing in the pool, and just, like, in my childhood, just, like, how kind of like I was rapidly growing and learning to walk and learning all these different motor skills that I had in my life. And so I think like the first section of that collage is really able to show those like changes in my life. And then you can see like earlier on in my adolescence, like I kind of get a growth spurt and I'm a little taller, and I think there's a photo of me dancing on there, or me and my dance partner. But I think it just kind of shows like how like starting to get a little more coordinated, and my fine motor and gross motor skills were developing very rapidly and very well. And then just like as I've grown to be more of an adult, like obviously you go through puberty, and I think you can see that in the photos, just like the changing body and just like maturing into a woman, and like just really being able to see these changes through these videos and like through what I'm capable of doing. So I think a lot of these photos you're able to see like structural changes, and then also like my motor changes, which I personally really appreciated seeing. Like I feel like you're not able to like picture everything just like in your mind, but when it's all laid out, you're like, oh wow, I've really come a long way. But I really think that my physical growth has changed. Obviously I have changed, and it's made me into who I am. I'm a very active person. I love to be outdoors and busy and like just constantly moving, and I think that was really part of my development and how my body did change, because I was a competitive dancer and I was constantly moving, constantly growing and strengthening my body. So I have always been taking care of my body and making sure it has been the best it possibly could be. And so in my physical growth, I feel like it's really helped me perform better to the best of my abilities, and when I face challenges, I was able to overcome them. So I really think that my physical growth has been extremely helpful, and has made me into who I am today. And then the second topic I'm going to talk about is my family change and development. So when I was born, I had one older brother. So it was me and my brother when I was born, and I know the first two photos of this were of my mom and my dad. And then you can kind of see I have two younger sisters and one little brother. So obviously there were some big changes in my life as I started to grow up. And these changes kind of led me to take on other roles and help take care of my siblings and help my parents out, obviously at an older age, but I was helping them, and I feel like that kind of strengthened my relationship with my siblings because I was there helping them grow up. And I know in the textbook it talks about different types of parent relationships, and I feel like I've always been very close to my mom. I've always kind of taken in her footsteps. I would say she is more athletically inclined while I'm more arts inclined, but I definitely would say I've followed in my mother's footsteps and kind of take after her more, and that relationship has always been extremely strong. In the photos, they kind of don't change. You can see we all get older, but I think this is kind of just an example that my family, we never went through any huge changes other than new siblings, and that's just like how my family has grown to be. But through those relationships, I've really been able to create strong values in what I believe in and take after my parents. And like, I really think just like having that strong family aspect has led me to be such an like a strong believing person and like know what I believe, and like because of my family I'm able to be strong in that. And so I think both through physical development and family development I was kind of able to solidify who I am today. Obviously there's room for growth and I'm not done. I think I'm done physically growing, hopefully, but I think my relationships will constantly change, especially as I'm only 19 right now, and obviously I'll probably get married and have children of my own, and I'll be able to see how my life can change both physically with having children and my family relationships as obviously more people come into my life. And so I think these two together really show the development of my life and how I have changed and can change, and those two combined are probably the most important aspects of my life. And so I really enjoyed this assignment, and I think it really shows how I became who I am today. So thank you.